Hi everyone and welcome to the new video. Once I saw an Amazon LED lamp which costs only about 60 cents with free shipping, and I became curious how good is it compared to more expensive ones. So I ordered this lamp, and I also ordered a lamp that is 10 times more expensive. What do you think? Will you be able to really see the difference? Do you really need to pay 10 times more? In this video I will make several scientific tests and I will show you 6 parameters in which these lamps are different. So watch until the end and you will make your own decision if it makes sense to pay more or not. Without further ado, let's get into it. I did an order on Amazon and the next day the package was delivered. Obviously this video is not sponsored, I can afford the LED lamp on my own. As a first step, let's see what we can get for this price. As we can see, both boxes look a bit similar. I specially ordered 2 lamps with the same parameters, so they are both 60 watts equivalent. So they both should produce the same brightness, 806 lumens as we can see. But the first difference that we can immediately spot is an energy label. One lamp is labeled as D and the second lamp is labeled as F. And here is the explanation written on this box. The first lamp will consume 6 kWh per 1000 hours of work, and the second lamp will consume 9 kWh for the same hours. I don't know how much is the cost of the kilowatt hour in your region, so you can do a calculation on your own. But as we can see, a most expensive lamp is more energy efficient. Maybe it has better and more efficient LEDs, or maybe it has a more efficient LED driver. The second parameter that we can immediately spot is a warranty. On the more expensive lamp we can see that the warranty interval is 4 years, and on the less expensive lamp we can see that the warranty is only 2 years. I'm a bit confused with these 3 stars near the label, so maybe there are some notes written with the small font as usual, but at least this is what we can see on the box. And generally speaking, I don't think anyone will send the light bulb back for the repair. But anyway, a longer warranty time at least shows that the manufacturer has more trust in their solution, in my opinion. Now let's open the box and let's see what is inside. As we can see, both lamps look similar, they have E27 socket. By the way, E stands for Edison, so this socket is more than 100 years old. It was invented by Thomas Edison more than 100 years ago. And funny enough, even these old lamps technically can be screwed in the modern socket. And while I'm holding both lamps in my hand, I can immediately feel the next difference. This is the material they are made from. It is obviously not visible on the camera, but one lamp is heavier than another. And for the less expensive lamp, the dome material is plastic. It also feels like plastic. When I tap it, it makes this sound. So this dome is definitely made from a plastic, which makes the lamp cheaper. And the second one is probably glass, it looks different and the sound is also different. I don't think it really affects the light quality, but the glass dome is probably more expensive to produce. And now it is time to turn both lamps on. This is the test of the first light bulb. I'm connecting it directly, please don't do it like this. And as we can see, it works, the light is nice. There is a flickering on the camera, but it is a camera, it is not a lamp. On the lamp we cannot see it. Now I changed the camera settings and it's not flickering anymore. I will test flickering a bit later in this video, and now let's test the second light bulb. And this is the second one with the same camera settings. As we can see, the brightness is generally the same. And now I will switch the camera back to the auto mode, and we will see if the flickering is visible by the camera. And interestingly, I can still see some flickering, but it is not so severe. And of course it is visible only with the camera, it's not visible with the naked eye. Now let's test it in more details and see if there is a difference. Okay, even with the camera we can see that the most expensive light bulb has less flickering, but the camera is not a precise instrument, so let's see it in more details with the oscilloscope. It is easy to do. I connected a solar panel to my oscilloscope. I have this mini solar panel, and this oscilloscope will show us how the light really looks like. Let's see how it works. I'm covering the light, otherwise it will be too bright. And as we can see, yes, the flickering exists, but it's not really big. We can see only a small ripple in the signal, so it looks technically okay. So here we can see this flickering in more detail, so it is visible. So if you're not a photographer, it's probably not a problem, but you must be aware of this effect. And now let's test the second one. Now I'm connecting the second light bulb and I will do the same test. And as we can see, there is a small ripple on the screen, but it's really not severe. For example, if I turn the light off, this ripple is actually maybe a 5% of the whole brightness, so it will be not visible to the naked eye. And indeed, visually we see much less flickering on the camera, so it is better. So on the oscilloscope we can see that for the less expensive lamp the flickering is bigger, maybe it has fewer filtering capacitors. Of course, if the lamp costs only 60 cents, there is always a trade-off between components price and the final price. But anyway, I should repeat again that for both lamps the flickering is not visible with the naked eye, it's only visible with the camera, so technically both lamps are okay. And now let's do the next test and let's see how both lamps work with the dimmer. As another interesting difference, this lamp is marked as dimmable and the second is not, so let's do the test. First I will start with the cheap one. I have this dimmer, so let's see how it works. And as we can see, the result is not bad, but this cheap lamp is actually not dimmable. It stays on the same brightness, then I see visible flickering and then it goes to another brightness. So it has only two positions, but it's actually not really dimmable, but we can have a full brightness and a half brightness, so technically it's not that bad. And again, this flickering is not visible to the naked eye, it's only a camera artifact. So there are actually two positions, minimum and maximum, and that is it, but it was not advertised as dimmable, so it is fine. Technically the color is good and the light is okay, and on the high brightness it looks also okay. And now let's test the second one. As we can see, this lamp is indeed better, I can adjust it as I want. This lamp is advertised as dimmable and as we can see it works well. So I can set it from minimum to maximum and I see no problems with that, it works fine. Okay, now let's test the light quality and the spectrum of both lamps. And first I will start with the less expensive one. I am connecting the USB spectrometer to my computer and let's see how it works. And as we can see, the result is okay. This spectrum is of course different compared, for example, to a daylight. Here is the spectrum of the daylight and we can see it is much more rich in the red and the blue colors. But technically it is okay, it's a normal spectrum of the LED lamp, I don't see any problems with that. There is an interesting peak in the yellow area, but it is nothing really bad with that, it's just the intensity in this yellow region is a bit higher. But it is not visible with the naked eye anyway, so it is okay. In general, there is a parameter called CRI, Color Rendering Index, and the higher this index the better. The highest possible index is 100, and only tungsten light bulbs has this index, but these lamps, alas, are very inefficient. They convert only 5% of the energy to the visible light. This LED lamp has an advertised CRI of more than 80. As we can see, there are some non-linearities in this spectrum, but generally it looks okay. Maybe it's not the type of the lamp that will be used in the museum, but technically it is good enough for its price. And now let's check the second one. So now I'm turning the second lamp on, and as we can see, its spectrum looks indeed different. First, the amount of the blue light is decreased, and on the Amazon page it is advertised as an advantage. There is a theory that the blue light in the evening can affect our sleep. I am not a doctor, so I cannot confirm it, but why not? Second, the peak in the yellow part is not so big, and the lamp is a bit more rich in red colors. So there are some improvements in the spectrum, but of course it is not CRI 100, it's maybe impossible for the LEDs. But this lamp indeed has an advertised CRI of 90, which is higher than the previous one, and of course it's more expensive. As a comparison, I can show the spectrum of the fluorescent light bulb, and as we can see it is much worse. It has only peaks in some areas, it's not monotonous, and there are lots of gaps in there. So this lamp can be bright, but there are gaps in the colors, and some colors may be not good visible. So even the cheap LED lamp can produce a better light quality compared to a fluorescent lamp. And of course, if you want a lamp with better quality, you can choose a more expensive one. And now let's make a short summary of the tests. Is it make sense to pay 10 times more for the LED lamp? I promised to tell you 6 differences, and here they are. The first parameter is the energy consumption and efficiency. The more expensive lamp has more efficient LEDs and maybe more efficient driver. So for the same 1000 hours, it will consume less kilowatt hours of the energy. Will it really cover the price? I don't know. You can make a calculation on your own. The second difference is material. As we can see, the cheaper lamp has a plastic dome and the more expensive lamp has a glass dome. A third parameter is a warranty interval. A more expensive lamp has 4 years warranty and the less expensive lamp has a 2 years warranty. Though it is kind of visual, I don't think anyone will bring back 60-cent lamp to the manufacturer, but still there is a difference. The fourth difference is the level of flickering. It's not visible with the naked eye for both lamps. There is a difference, but you can see it only with the oscilloscope. And interestingly, there are really old lamps of the first generations that have a really terrible flickering. For example, if you wave your hand in the air, you can really see the pulsations. So if you have an old LED lamp with these kind of problems, even a new cheap one will be good improvement. And the fifth parameter is dimming. The less expensive lamp is not fully dimmable, but it has 2 levels of brightness, so technically it's not that bad. You can put it to low brightness or you can put it to high brightness. And the more expensive lamp is fully dimmable, it works well, so it depends if you want it or not. And the last but not least is the color rendering index. As we saw in the spectrum, the more expensive lamp is better in rendering red colors, and it also has less blue colors that can be beneficial for your sleep. So technically you can think on your own about what do you want to have. A lamp with better colors can be good in the kitchen, for example, where you can enjoy the food. Or it can be good in the sleeping room where you can have less blue colors in the evening. By the way, which lamp are you using at home now? I will be curious to know the answer right in the comments below. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Press like and subscribe if you enjoyed this and you want to see videos like that. You are also welcome to visit my Patreon page. This support helps me to buy things like this for testing. Thanks for watching and see you next time.